dream bigger than me.
Right.
If I have to toe the line, something's wrong. But I want people around me that can dream larger dreams than me, who have a greater imagination. As a kid, I once won an award, the biggest daydreamer, and I thought that was a good thing. I thought it was a good thing. I came home proud. Said, Mama, look, I got a trophy at school for the biggest daydreamer in class. And she said, son, that's not a good thing. I said, well, Mom, it sounds right. I want people around me who can dream, because God is a dreamer. But he's not a pie-in-the-sky dreamer. When God dreams, he makes things happen. When God envisions something, he makes things happen. We were just talking about this on the ride in this morning. God is in a place and in a way that whenever he thinks of something, it already exists.
Right.
We have this notion that, I'll tell this story, I pick on my family all the time. Shortly after I got married, my in-laws, my wife is the oldest of the children, my in-laws wanted grandchildren. And I was like, no, we're not doing that quick. I mean, we'll have children, but it's not going to be that fast. And my mother-in-law was, well, what are you going to do when God shows up? And what if he just gives you a grandchild? I'm like, well, God ain't going to do that. Well, how do you know that? Because it don't work that way. And she looked at me, she said, what? I said, listen, there aren't little cherubs up in heaven. We've got to get this out of our mind that there's little cherubs up in heaven, and all of a sudden God sees a belly somewhere and says, ooh, you, over here. No, not you, the other one. Oh, yeah. Boop, go over there. It doesn't happen that way. It does not happen that way. But God does say, the Bible does say that before we were even formed in our mother's womb, God knew us. Not that we were some shaped, formed cherub up in heaven waiting for when our call came, like we were drafted. Yes, sir. Here we are. No. But because we were in the mind and the heart of God. Whatever is in the mind and the heart of God already exists.
Right.
It already is there. We have to play catch up.
Uh-huh.
That's what we have to do. Does God intervene? Yeah, God intervenes when something isn't humanly possible. Why? So that he gets the glory. Time after time in Scripture, women and couples who were barren, who could not have children, that's when we see God intervene. That's when we see God stepped in and gave a promise. When it was humanly impossible for something to happen, and let me tell you, an immaculate conception is something impossible to happen, that's when God steps in. Because God is a God who thinks higher than our thoughts ever could be. I think I read that somewhere. He dreams bigger dreams than you and I could ever dream. Have you ever read Ezekiel? Have you ever read Daniel? Have you seen what some of the dreams, the book of Revelation, some of the things that God sees and is explaining to these prophets? Oh my word, where did he get that stuff? Then I remember, it's God. And so when he begins to dream far greater than any one of us could ever do. But the difference between his dreams and our dreams is his a reality. And God has dreams for this church. And they're not pipe dreams. They're reality. There's something real and tangible. God has placed you here for such a time as this.